The Italian Job, really fun. Crank, really over the top, but awesome. Crank 2, even more over the top, still awesome. Transporter, awesome. Transporter 2, even more over the top, but still awesome. Transporter 3, even more over the top, but still pretty cool. The Expendables, you know what? I really like it. The Mechanic, here we go. So The Mechanic is a remake of the 1972 Charles Bronson film of the same name, but I wouldn't really call it a direct remake, it's more of a looser version of it. So in the film, Jason Statham plays Arthur Bishop, who also goes by the name of a mechanic. And a mechanic is a guy who is a very skilled hitman who's able to take on elite assignments that most of the other hitmen can't do. He has to do a lot of extensive planning for each one, in which each hit must be done with a lot of ease and must be done under control too. But that's until in which he has to betray his own mentor, played by Sutherland. And that's until he ends up meeting his son, Steve, played by Ben Foster. And Ben Foster's character is the son of Sutherland's character, in which he is a very rebellious guy who threw away a lot of his life because he just loves committing acts of violence all the time. So Arthur decides to take him under his wing and turn him into a mechanic, and they go after the company that betrayed Arthur into killing Donald Sutherland's character and get their revenge for good. Now this film is definitely yet another Jason Statham typecast role, but you know what? Unlike most people, I think he's a great star. He's not a strong actor because he plays the same role, but I think he has a lot of ability as an action star, of course, because we don't really have this many stars these days that can do what he can. He does what he usually does in most films, which is hand-to-hand combat fights, gunfights, and all that stuff. And you know what? I like what he does. I mean, I think he's a really great action star. However, in this, he's a bit limited. While he does have some stuff to work with in scenes, it just doesn't seem like his full action potential because it's more of Ben Foster doing the action scenes in this instead. Now, Ben Foster, I'll admit, this guy looks freaking terrifying because I don't know what it is about Ben Foster, but his eyes are like really scary. And I'm just putting that out because he just looks like a scary guy most of the time, and even his voice is kind of gravely a little bit as the movie progresses. I don't know, it's just me. Now for the film as a whole though, it's kind of two films for one. The first half takes a while at introducing Jason Statham's character, and it's really slow as there's really only one action scene in it. The first half really isn't all that interesting, but then when they introduce Ben Foster, that's when the movie kind of gets a jump, in which it starts going somewhere, in which it's almost nothing but action in that second half. I just think there's a real lack of cohesion between these two halves of the film, and plus they throw in these obligatory sex scenes in it. They really don't seem to really have a place in the film, even though like the girls are hot of course, but it just doesn't really add on anything to the film at all. Now the action scenes are actually done pretty well, but they seem rushed a little bit because none of them really last for a while the second half is jam-packed full of action up until the very end. It's good, just I wish there was more in the first half, of course. Now this is directed by Simon West, who also did Con Air, and he's slowly resurging his career because he directed the pilot for Human Target, and he also directed the pilot of The Cape, even though that show wasn't that good when I saw the pilot of it. I still thought it was well directed in some parts. He was okay with this film, I just think the script is really what's letting down this film because they try to pile on all these drama scenes in between and it just doesn't work out for most of the time. It's not really what we want to see though out of a film like this because there's so much drama in the first half. We just want to see countless shootouts, lots of explosions and hand-to-hand combat fight scenes, in which that's fine and all. In the second half, once again, it's the first half that just didn't really work for me. But since I am a Jason Statham fan, I will be nice and give this movie a 2.5 out of 5 stars. Like, it's decent entertainment in the second half, I wanted more of the first half because the first half was just really slow and it didn't really build up to anything. So I hope you enjoyed my review of The Mechanic, and if you enjoyed my review, please subscribe to my channel as I will be doing a review of Vanishing on 7th Street next, so you can expect that in just a little while. So in the meantime, see you guys around.